If I had the chance to restart my crochet business in 2026, these are the things that I would do differently because I made a lot of mistakes my first time around. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ayomide, and if you don't know, I'm currently running my own crochet business while also being a full-time student. And if I had to start my business all over again in 2026, I would do things very differently. Right here with me, I have my iPad just in case you guys see me looking down. Grab your blanket, grab your snack, get a little comfy because I'm about to be your little or big sister and tell you how I started my crochet business and what I would do if I could do it all over again. So number one that I have on the list is I would choose what to sell way smarter. What I mean by this is that instead of making just random things, I would focus on making things that are number one, quick to make, number two, trendy, and number three, also in demand. If you are still selling, if you're making like a sweater and it's very 60s looking, in this day and age, it might not get a lot of sales. Someone will probably buy it for sure. But if you're thinking of from a business standpoint, you need something that will sell, and that just means following trends. I know when I started out my crochet business, I think my first listing was this coquette bag, and I thought it was really cute. A lot of my friends thought it was cute too, but nobody bought it. Even to this day, like no one has ever bought it. So I would just say stick to the trends. I don't know if you guys know this person on Instagram. Their name is Archive. I think they're the ones that really blew up crochet cat beanies. So when I saw that was going around and a lot of people were buying from his business, I started to make my own cat beanies. And surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, back in 2024, those blew up like a lot. I started my Etsy page in May and I made my first sales like end of May or early June. I think up to this day, August 2024 was my best month. I sold like so many cat beanies and I think that was like my best month ever. So definitely hop on the trends. I would recommend Pinterest to see like what people are making and what people are wearing. I can only give you mostly advice on like clothing, hats, tops and stuff because that's what I mostly make. However, plushies do sell a lot, especially in pop-ups. That ties back to making things that are quick to make, like keychains, plushies, beanies. It usually takes like an hour to make my octopus keychains, and those actually do like so good in my markets. That just ties back to selling smarter because you're making things that don't take long to make. At the same time, they're trendy, so a lot of people will buy it, and that is gonna, the turnover, the time, it's flipping. Number two, I would focus on content first, not Etsy. In the beginning, I would say that I definitely did focus on content first because I don't think I even opened up my Etsy until like a couple months after I opened up my Instagram account. But if I knew earlier that your business grows from your content, not from like listing products, that is something that would have probably skyrocketed my business like way out of this world. If I were to give you my advice, post on Instagram and TikTok every single day. You should be posting something every single day. You should be interacting on your highlights, your stories every single day. You should be posting reels and TikTok videos every single day, because if you don't, people are not going to see your stuff pop up on their For You page. They're not going to see your stuff pop up on their Explore page. They're just not going to know your business, and who would support a business that they don't even know about? In terms of content, I would definitely say make a mixture of everything. Not only should you be posting videos of your products, that should be number one if you're trying to sell them, but also mix in funny content while you're crocheting a project. Just prop your phone up and find a trendy sound and just like make something relatable. I make a lot of those, and I used to make a lot of those back then, and that's how I grew my Instagram, especially because when you're scrolling, like, let's be honest, we stick around for the funny videos. Like, we watch the funny ones all the way. Well, I mean, I do. I can't speak for you, but I do love a laugh. Make funny content, show the process of how you're making your videos. It could be like a 15-second video, because honestly, that's just how long people's attention spans are, like 15 seconds. Honestly, it could be however long you want. I usually make mine like on the shorter side though, because I know like a lot of people won't keep watching it after 20 seconds. Another thing is show your personality from your social media account. I'm probably just now starting to show my personality on my YouTube, if I'm being honest with you guys. Looking back at my old videos, I feel like I was just so stiff and dry, but that's because I knew like a lot of people that I know are watching my videos. If you're my mom or my family or my sister who's over there, hi, thank you for watching. That's for you guys. Let's get back to the topic. People are not buying crochet, they're buying you. I just dropped some knowledge coming from a marketing minor. I think I learned that in one of my classes a couple weeks ago. They're buying from your personal brand, but that also ties into another thing we're gonna get to. Number 3 on the list is that I would validate before I overwork myself. What this means is that I used to spend hours making things without knowing if people wanted them. A prime example of this was when I made like this hexagon sweater, and it took me like 2 days. Each day I was working like 8 to 12 hours on it, and I thought it was really cute, but then no one ever bought it from my Etsy, so obviously it was not in demand. I mean, it was trendy at the time, but I don't think it was in demand. So that's your lesson, to do your research on what you think would sell on your Etsy or your Instagram page or wherever you're selling. Actually, a good way to prevent yourself from selling things that people won't buy from you is, with the current followers you have now, if you're working on a project, just take a picture, put it on your story, ask them, well, what do you guys think of this? Last summer, when Labubu's were a big thing, I bought a pattern from Etsy on how to make like a crochet Labubu, and when I made it, I thought it was the cutest thing ever. But when I put it on my story, people were like, this ain't it. And I was like, damn, back to square one. Well, I'm happy that they told me that they weren't really messing with it, because if I had put it on my Etsy, it would have just been a waste of a listing because it was not going to make any money. Another prime example of this was the coquette bag that I made. Don't waste your time, please, because as a crocheter, we know how long we're spending on these projects. Please don't waste your time. It'll make me sad and it'll make you even sadder. Number 4 is that I would price for profit, not just to sell. It is so tempting to price your products low, especially when this is going to be your first sale ever. You might want to sell like something you made for 5 hours for $20. Please do not do that. If people have crochet money, they will buy it with crochet money. You don't have to sell at these like Shein prices, because it not only is a waste of your time, but it's not really profitable at the end of the day. If you spend 5 hours crocheting something, that should be like at least, wait, if we do it at 15 an hour, I would say that's maybe $75. Y'all might have to check that. I don't know if I'm right. $20, $75. I don't know which one you would pick, but I would hope that you would pick the $75, because then again, this is a business, and you're not a business if you're not making money. Okay, you're just gonna be bankrupt with no yarn, no money on your card. Yeah, moral of the story, price your stuff based on the amount of material as well. If you're using like 3 balls of yarn, girl, that's like $5 each at least. That's $15 of material alone, and you're only making $5 profit, and that's including the time you used to make it. Calculate time plus materials is how much you should be charging. Okay, thank you. Number 5, I would make my setup simple. This ties back to the fact that you don't need a fancy website to start your business. You don't need the most perfect website to start your business. In fact, you don't even need Etsy to start your business. I sell on Etsy, but you don't really need Etsy. People will DM you if they want something. Honestly, like a lot of people have been DMing me recently for custom made orders, like things that I haven't even ever posted or made before. So if you're consistently posting and people see that like you have talent, you can crochet, they will DM you about a product that they see on your page or a product that they believe that you can make. If you're starting, you do not need Etsy. Etsy will bill you on ads, they will bill you on listings, they will bill you for shipping. There's a lot that goes into Etsy. Like honestly, it's more of a con than anything. Do not start an Etsy right away. I would say utilize Depop, utilize your TikTok and Instagram DMs over anything. Just don't overcomplicate it. Whenever you post a product, put in the caption, DM me for pricing, or DM me if you would like this product, period. Number 6, the final tip that I have for you guys. If I were talking to my old self right now, I would tell her to treat it like a brand and not just a hobby. Granted, I've been crocheting since I was 9 years old, so it very much is a hobby of mine. Like, it's like first nature to me to even know how to crochet. So it's definitely a hobby, but once I made the decision to make it into a business, I have to treat it like a business. I have to treat it like a brand. This is a really big one. You have to build a recognizable style. You could still make things that you like to make, but it all has to be cohesive, if that makes sense. Be consistent with posting. I will emphasize this time and time again. Do not, I repeat, do not take a break unless you really have to. When I tell you, my business would have been probably, I don't even know how many followers I would have by now if I kept being consistent on Instagram. But when I tell you, if you stop posting, if you stop being consistent, when you try and come back, it's gonna be rough. You're gonna be in the streets, you're gonna be rough. I'm still suffering. I just started posting on Instagram again after like months of being so inconsistent, and you will lose followers. You will not gain, you will actually lose followers. So I repeat, I should be following my own advice too. I should actually be consistent with posting. So yeah, take it from me. Please do not stop posting, please. And don't just post anything. Don't just post rubbish, I beg. Post good content. Have your friends proofread it and tell you if it's good. That's what I do. I text my CEO friends. I'm like, guys, does this look cute? And they keep it a buck with me. Like, if it looks good, they'll tell me it looks good. If they're questioning a video that I made, they're gonna be like, okay, Ayo, so change this and this. And yeah, make sure your lighting is good. Make sure the product doesn't have like a lopsided or missing stitch. Just make sure that everything is good. Honestly, make sure your camera quality is clear. Make sure you're wiping your camera before you start recording, please. And show up as a crochet business owner, because this is a big step up from just probably selling to your family and friends. This is a business, and you should be happy that you decided to start a business if you haven't already started it already. Yes, crocheting is fun. I love crocheting. You probably love crocheting. But at the same time, this is a business, and you have to prioritize making sales and being profitable, being a successful business. I want nothing but all of you to be successful in the future, and I pray that I become more successful too. If you're starting a crochet business or you already have one, comment down below. I would love to see like what you guys are doing. I would love to interact with you guys. If you have any more questions for me, just please let me know. I would love to see if I can answer them for you. If I don't have an answer, we have a whole community of friends who are all in this together. Honestly, we can all just help each other. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. If you like more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and just learn about how I run my crochet business while I'm in college. I mean, that's really what I do in here. Thank you so much for making it to the end, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.